If you search on the internet for advice on how to get a girl to like you, you'll find some people saying you need to get jacked in the gym with six-pack abs, you need to make 6 figures a year and drive a nice car, and others will say you need to optimize your Instagram and make girls come to you. But in reality, most men who are getting the highest quality of women in relationships, they don't have any of those things. And it's because getting women is actually pretty easy. Much easier than you think. All you need to do is forget the superficial tips and return to the principles of attraction. So in this video, I'll walk you through step by step and explain everything you need to know to make a woman like you and desire you. So a few weeks ago, on a cold Monday evening, I went out and met a cute girl from France on a regular street. We talked for a few minutes, exchanged WhatsApp, and then she texted me the same evening and we agreed to have a date the next day. So on Monday, I meet her, and on Tuesday, I date her. That's simple. And to get that date, I didn't need to lift up my shirt to show my very average physique. I didn't need to flash my bank account, and I don't even have Instagram. All I did is 3 things that if you can do correctly as well, getting girls becomes as easy as that. I promise you. So number 1 thing you need to get women is high self-esteem. Let me ask you this. If I told 100 random men to go up to a girl in a broad daylight and say hello, what would most of those men say? Well, they would most likely say that they can do it if certain conditions are met. And these conditions might be that they need to be drunk, they need their friends to be there for support, they might need to wear their Rolex watch. Why? Well, because inherently they don't believe that they are enough by themselves. They think that a beautiful woman is above them. So they need to close that gap with alcohol or displaying money or muscles. And when they do that, that's when they're subconsciously communicating to the girl, I don't think I'm enough. So when I approached this French girl, I had none of those things, but I did have one more important thing. The thought of me being enough to go to talk to her just like I am. The first thing you need to get women is to drill this thought into your head. I am enough. This is the most basic necessity you need to attract women. A simple thought in your head. But without this thought, you'll never be able to consistently attract high quality women. You can spend 20 years working 12-hour days to get 100 million in your bank thinking that this will help you get women, but unless the money will give you this thought of being enough, those $10 million will not help you attract women and will only help you attract gold diggers. Now you might be asking, well, how do I achieve this thought of being enough? And at the end of the video, I'll actually redirect you to another video that will walk you through my process on how I achieve the thought of being enough. Now the second thing you need to attract women is the ability to create emotional engagement. Now most guys try to build attraction by building rapport and getting to know each other. So you'll hear most men say things like, what are your hobbies? What's your job? How do you like it here in the city? And if you've ever talked to a girl in your life, most likely you've said a version of this. And then probably that conversation just slowly died. Now, why is that? Because there was no emotional engagement. In other words, you were boring to her. So how do you create this emotional engagement? The key is playfulness. Now this is misunderstood by most men because they think that playfulness is making jokes or saying clever lines. Rather, it's about creating an atmosphere where both you and the girl can truly be themselves and say whatever you want to say. Because if a girl can truly be herself and sort of lose herself in the moment where she forgets the pressures of her life, the judgment of society, she'll get attracted pretty fast. And the best way to do this is by introducing ambiguity and different subtext in the conversation. So for example, when I met the French girl and she told me that she was from Paris and I told her, so this is why you came up to me, to simply tell me how beautiful Paris is and how all these stupid people here are in Spain because they don't speak French. Now on the surface level, that statement doesn't make any logical sense because A, she didn't come up to me, I came up to her. B, there is no logical reason why people in Spain would speak French. And C, I actually never believed that she was there in the conversation for nationalistic reasons. But me saying that, it made a massive emotional impact because she started laughing and justifying how she's not that kind of Persian girl. And that's how you achieve emotional impact. And finally, the third thing you need to get women is the ability to display leadership. Have you ever talked to a girl wanting to ask her on a date and not doing that? Chances are she didn't suddenly ask you on the date and hence you had no date. That is your job. Your job is to assume the burden and lead things forward, not because of toxic masculinity or gender roles, but because of sexual polarity. Even dominant alpha women with high job positions, they want a man who can lead them in a conversation, in a date, and eventually in bed. So if you can lead comfortably, a girl can lean into her feminine energy, which is the energy that you want her to be in if you want her to be attracted to you. So in the example with the French girl, after 8 to 10 minutes of talking to each other, I simply said, well, let's grab a drink another day. Clear and directional. And even when she texted me the next day, I didn't just reply, no plans tomorrow. I said, I have no plans tomorrow, so let's grab a drink. Now you might be thinking and asking, well, how do I learn all these skills? So what I'll do is I'll link to another video that will show you step by step the process that I went through to achieve high self-esteem, as well to learn the skills of emotional engagement and leadership. This is exactly the process that has made it quite easy for me to get attention from women and has given me many amazing, fantastic relationships. And if you follow the process in this video, it can give you the same thing. So I'll see you there.